G'day, guys. Welcome back to Stat Chat Sports. You're here with me, Josh. I've got BT and Tazza on the line. We are still doing our season previews for the AFL season. If you click on this video, you already know it's the GWS Giants that we're talking about today. And boys, we think they're going to finish 7th this year. How have we come to that decision, Tazza?
I think it's a lot of promise and a lot of potential not quite being fulfilled. They seem to have stars all over the ground. Probably not the forward line so much, but that midfield, just the engine room is just amazing through there. Backman key backs are good. I mean, I've got them 10th, and
you had them 10th.
I feel like, yeah. Look,
you're kidding.
On reflection, I feel like it's probably a bit of an injustice. Looking at the list, it looks pretty good, but I don't know. Like I said in the Geelong preview, there's just too many other teams, up and coming teams, and GWS for me found themselves languishing.
All right, well, Taz, let's not talk to you. BT, you had them in the finals. Clearly, you've got a more informed opinion on the matter. What do you like about it? What do you like about the Giants this year? The big sound.
Big sound. I think they're pushing top 4. That's why I'm going. I've got them finishing 6, but I think they're just outside the top 4. They could, if it goes their way, they could. I reckon last season, I think people were underestimating the injuries they had last season to big name players like Canelio, Davis, Kelly, Whitfield. All these guys had injuries throughout the whole season. Massive name players, big name, like top quality players throughout the whole AFL. Key players as well. I reckon these guys fully fit. They're going to have nearly full. The only loss is, I think, Finlayson getting traded to Port Adelaide. I think that's a bit of a loss because
I think that's a big loss.
Yeah,
I think it's a really big loss for the Giants.
So I think like Cogs, Taranto, those type of players, I think they're going to be rotating through that forward line. But if Jesse Hogan stays fit, Himmelberg, you're going to get goals out of all of them. I can see him repeating when they made same type of season when they made a grand final. There's bit better teams with your Melbourne Bulldogs, but I can see him hitting that type of form again.
So you spoke a little bit about the forward line, BT. That's probably the biggest question mark that I have, particularly with the key forwards. So Finlayson gone. Is Harry Himmelberg the guy? Because, yeah, he has good games and he has poor games. And do we think that he's got the potential to stamp himself as a number one key forward?
He'll start the season. I don't know if he'll play the whole season. They've got Riccardi who could come in. He seems pretty promising as a young guy. But the big one who I think Taranto is going to play while Toby Green's out. I think round 5 or so when he comes back. I think Taranto will play up forward. He played towards the end of the season up forward. He looked pretty damaging. I think he kicked four in one game. He had like 3 in the first quarter or something. 4 or 5 he kicked. He looks pretty good.
Killed everybody's fantasy teams as well.
Oh, yeah.
Had him.
Yeah.
That hurt me.
These midfielders they have, I think they're going to be rotating straight through that forward line. You've got Kelly, Canelio, Ward. The only one, I think, Tom Green and Hopper, they'll stay in the guts or on the wing, both of them. They won't rotate the forwards, but the other guys will. And they're top quality players. Who put him in any position and they'll succeed. I think the injury-free pre-seasons for these top guys, I think that's a massive key for this team.
Jesse Hogan, how does he fare into the Giants lineup this year? And if he has a big year, does that really solidify your call of, top 4 and Premiership Contender for the Giants?
If he plays, this is a big call. If he plays every single game, if he plays the whole season, he's top 5 for Coleman and they finish top 4.
Don't mind that at all. Not an unrealistic call there. Yeah. But he certainly is the key. He certainly is the key, I think.
Yeah, him and Toby Green. Once Toby Green's back, and if they can keep these guys on the park, I think they're gonna. I think they're way ahead of the teams below them.
One of the other issues that I see, Tazza, is the ruck department. Obviously, the big mummy, the big sauce man, really a big loss for them for the second retirement that he's had. What do you see them doing in the ruck department in 2022?
Look, they've got 3 guys that could conceivably go through there. So they've got Matt Flynn, they've got Kieran Briggs, and they've got Braden Pruce as well. I see them going with Matt Flynn as their number 1. Pruce has had a little bit of an interrupted preseason, and I know he was brought over from Melbourne for extra opportunity, but I think unluckily with Pruce's injury last season, Flynn flourished last season. It was by no means a world beater, but he's shown that he can take the reins. And I think they're going to take Flynn. There's going to be a lot of rotation in that ruck department though. And that's the beauty of it. They've got 2 decent guys, 2 good serviceable ruckmen. I'm not maybe that's the key to solving their forward problems, possibly. A 2 ruckman combo. Flynn wasn't too bad from memory when he went down forward. Well, I don't see Briggs getting a hell of a lot of time.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'd say those 2, Flynn and Pruce, will probably be a bit of a ruck tandem. And they'll 50-50 the forward ruck.
I like it. BT, we spoke a little bit about a couple of All-Australian chances there with the key forwards. Any other guys that you think might be a chance of getting an All-Australian Guernsey in 22?
I think they've got quite a few, to be honest with you. Whitfield, half-back, wing, half-forward, wherever they freaking play him. He plays all games. Kelly, Phil Davis is an outside chance if he plays the whole season. Sam Taylor, he came on last season. He looked very good.
Yes, good call.
Canelio, he's burning up the track apparently.
Yeah, where do we see him? Because he obviously was well on the outs last year, and really for the last couple of years he's struggled. Obviously injury related, but is he going to have a hard time of finding a way back into that lineup and that rotation? No,
I think he goes from everything what's being said. He's straight back in the guts, full-time midfielder. Kept the captaincy, in the leadership group. He's as fit as he has been. I can see him going back to his best. There's quite a few. It's Toby Green. I would not be surprised if he comes back absolutely firing. He misses 5 games, plays the rest of the season. I wouldn't be surprised if he still ends up kicking 40 goals.
And he wouldn't be able to miss any other games to be able to make the All-Australian team. That 17 games is probably right on the cusp of being eligible for the team. So, he'd have to do everything right. But he's the kind of guy that, when he gets his tail up and he's going, he is really up there with the best players in the competition.
Oh, most definitely. Most exciting player as well. I love watching him play.
Agreed. Definitely.
BT, a couple of the other segments we like to do as we get ready to wrap up our season preview for the Giants. A player that is under the pump. Who needs a really big year this year?
Nick Haynes, former All-Australian. I think they've got a few players now coming through who played the exact same role and last season and could be this season have started playing it better. You got Lockie Ash, Isaac Cumming, and Sam Taylor all pushed through, and last season, Nick Haynes did hardly anything.
Wow. That's a really big name player to be under the pump. Mm-hmm. You honestly think he's a chance that if those guys come through, then, he's trade bait out the door? Because the Giants, they do like to move picks around, move their players around and keep getting new picks for the future. It would be a big call though, surely.
I wouldn't be surprised if he only plays half the season and gets dropped.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. I thought Taylor was the one that was hating on the Giants, but BT,
that one player.
You've got one player.
Because I'm a huge fan of Isaac Cumming and Lockie Ash. Young players, a lot of potential. Sam Taylor is all young. I reckon those
Would you
three.
say what? Would you say one of those boys is your breakout player for the year?
Yes, Lockie Ash. I reckon Lockie Ash is a potential for a. He could. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes that 40-man All-Australian, but he's very good kicking it out of the box. Him and Cummings, they like to use him. He's got the speed as well. He's I think it was probably halfway through the season or so. There was a patch where he was just tearing it up, 30-odd possessions every game, intercepting, hitting targets up the middle. They like to get the ball in his hands. I like the look of him.
There you go. Lockie Ash for the breakout player. Look, Giants fans, if you are on board with us and you think the Giants are going to make the finals and potentially have a chance of going deep, make sure you let us know in the comments. If you're from another club and you disagree with BT entirely and you're right on board with Taylor that the Giants are washed up and that they're not going anywhere, we want to hear from you as well, all right? So let us know in the comments. Tell us what you think of the Giants in season 2022 because we're all about your feedback here on StatChat Sports. Make sure you subscribe, stay tuned for all the latest content, and look, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.